everybody. What's up? It's Kevin Perkins here from Crown Pickleball, joined by my illustrious host, Greg Storm from Rain Wind Paddle Pickleball. What's up, bro?
What's up? Staying
What's
raw.
up?
We are killing it. How's Crown?
Dude, everything's going great. Hey, we're here today with Petey Bruce, a pretty interesting and bitchin' dude from the Florida area. Hey, Petey, what's happening?
What's going on, guys? How you feeling?
Petey Bruce. What's up, my
Look
man?
You,
Look at that shirt, man. Ha.
Kung Fu.
That
Ain't
is
nobody does it like the Superman.
That is so rad. So Petey, we wanted to have you on. I had been talking to Greg a while ago when I was sponsoring balls for one of his tournaments, and he sent me some pictures. Because we do this really cool collab together and stuff. And he sent me this picture, and he had you whacking the ball, and then standing next to you, right? And I'm like, what the heck? And he said, you had no hands and one leg, and you are a really good player. So I wanted to, first of all, meet you because obviously you're doing some stuff that not very many people are doing, first of all. Second of all, tell us a little bit about like how you do that and like how you came to the sport. Like give us kind of the background around that.
yeah, for sure. One day I got a friend who I was living with, a roommate, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go play pickleball in the afternoon, and if you wanna show up, just show up because you're home and you're looking for a job, but you're also being lazy, so get your butt out and come meet me." And so I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go." And I played the drums, and so I had this like thought come like right into my head, like you need to be able to hold that paddle with one arm because two arms is okay, but I can't really swing and get stability with having two arms on the paddle. And so I grabbed my strap that I use for for drums, and
Wow.
slide this on and wear it. I would put it on right now, but it takes forever.
We get the idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes higher up, right? It goes
yeah,
up here. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It goes right underneath the bicep and like right above the bending of the elbow. And so basically, I went out, started to play with one of my friends paddle. She gave it to me and she was like, "Here, try this." It was like an Amazon paddle, and I think it was 3 matches in, and I actually dove for a ball. I didn't realize that the court actually was hard, and so I I tried to get up, and I looked at the paddle, and the paddle just flopped over. So basically, I broke her paddle, and she was like, "Don't worry about it. It's a bad paddle, anyways, whatever." Um,
Was it a
but
raw paddle? Just
No,
kidding.
Selkirk
No,
paddle.
it was a new carbon. It was a new carbon blade by Crown Pickleball.
Oh
But
my
anyway,
gosh.
I think it was definitely a Yola. Wasn't it a
Yola.
Yola? Ben Johns.
Yeah, right. I don't. I have no idea. It was not a good title, but I had fun and I got addicted right away. So my friend gave me a different title, not raw or anything, just a better, more clip title, and I played with his, and turned out that like I could hit better, I had better touch, whatever, and so I got addicted. But I didn't have any money at the time, so
Wait,
for
wait, wait.
like
Stop. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
so I can
Stop.
see.
In the name of love.
I can
before you.
see. First of all, I can see that you play a lot because you have a farmer stand
I was just
where
gonna
your
say.
strap goes.
I was gonna call you out on that too. I
That is
promise.
so bitchin'. So first of all, good on you for playing. I mean, you're obviously hooked, like all of us now, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so before you get to your friends, so just technically speaking, you've got this band
yep,
that you a band and a band. So you got a loop that goes over your arm.
There
You
it is.
yep,
had your drumsticks as a way to extend your arm, and you were playing drums.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what kind of band was that, or what were you like speed metaling, like just
No,
cranking it, or
no,
I mean,
no. I mean, I would have those moments for sure, but I actually I was going to school in Orlando called Jesus Image, and we had like a worship band, and so it
Yeah,
was
baby.
basically just worshiping the Lord, and so I played the drums at the church, but
Nice.
it was at the school at the time, and
Hmm.
I came from Massachusetts, so I would play in the band at my local church. And
Sweet. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a lot of people get their kind of musical starts, playing for the
right.
church band, right? So that's
Yep.
cool. Okay, so you were obviously becoming really proficient using your arms with the band and an extension of that, and so
Yeah,
you're just like, boom, hey, I'm gonna stick the paddle in there now,
exactly.
and you were able to just basically simulate having the same motions and same
Yeah.
everything. Like, explain that a little bit.
So so the way that like my mind works when it comes to adapting to situations is I look at what the person's doing, right? Say for a serve, okay? You've got the wrist, you got the forearms. Obviously, I ain't got the wrist, I got some of the forearm. But I realized someone was telling me like in the very beginning, they don't actually use so much of their elbow, but they use their shoulder. And so, and
Mm.
they were like, you guys think of it like a whip. And so I used to dance, so I do a lot of pop and locking. And so
Yeah.
it was a lot of, it was a lot of, you see like that fluent motion from my shoulder to my elbow, and it creates a whip action. And so when I have the paddle attached to me, I pretend that the paddle is a hand, a very hard hand, and basically I'm just smacking the ball. And so the difference with me, with in difference with everybody else, is I have to be really low. And so when I first started, I had this old like 14-year-old leg that I've been wearing for so long, and it was hurting, not a lot of cushion, so I couldn't really move a lot. But then I got a new leg from American Blade Runners Association. It's a nonprofit, and they basically donate their time to creating prosthetic
Is
legs.
that one of those banana
Yeah,
It's got a shield on it.
limbs?
Check it out.
yeah, yeah. Let me let me take off my leg real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
Pete, like, show us your
yeah.
leg. Look
Okay.
at that
Oh,
thing.
okay.
All
That
right,
is
so
It's like a
interesting. Oh,
shield,
so
man.
so basically, you see that? So
yeah.
the leg, the foot itself is still the blade, but it actually has a heel part, so I can wear shoes.
Yeah.
And the guys, the doctors at the facility was like, "Hey, we need to you you can run forward, you can sprint forward, but it's gonna be really hard for you to run back,
They-
especially if
Did
you're
they make
trying to."
that? Did they make that at Tony Stark's facility?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Iron Man, baby. You just need the
Yeah.
Oh
rest,
my gosh,
right?
I just need to rest. Exactly. Um,
Now
That's
we
Iron Man
played.
right there.
Now we've got out and we've played. You've come over and played with me and picked up a couple paddles, and
of
um,
course.
that's been pretty cool, right? So I mean, your angles are so sharp. I mean, they're
Yeah.
amazing. So I mean,
Well,
without that flick, you still have
yeah.
like solid angle on your
Yep.
dinks, which is great, and it burns a lot of people. And I mean, people are probably gonna, try to lob you and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Remember they kind of did that a little bit, and
Yep.
but you're probably not gonna hit too many tweeners, right? But
No, definitely
I
not.
can, yeah,
Low percentage shot, anyways.
but
Yeah.
you're
Right.
not with me, but your angle, but your
Or
angles are
The tweener king can actually play the whole game like that. He's just spanking his butt the whole entire
It's
time.
crazy.
No, but dude, I mean, your angles are super sharp on your dinks, so that was really fun to see that. And then, just some of your videos and stuff that we've seen too. It's been pretty cool, right? So, I mean, um, and then I wanted to play with you at the U.S. Open this year, right? That was my
Yeah.
conversation because I met you in
Yeah. Of
Gainesville in a tournament, right?
course.
I'm all down, like, like, man, I just like, we went 2-2, and then, we didn't win, and then you popped up, and I just started rapping with you, right? And then that was so cool, right? So I'm like, hey, Selkirk, what? Try our stuff, right? And then you're like, okay, will you hit with me? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course I will. So we went out and we hit with my paddle, right? We took a picture on the metal stand. We're going to show that
Yeah.
here in the video. That was pretty cool. You know, because, you know, and pickleball, I mean, I think it's just lost its luster to, you know, to give back and support different things and like that. So, I mean, I was super stoked to meet you and then just like have you play with our brand if you liked it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of companies might maybe like to catch on and do something like that. I hope they will in the future, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, here I am and bitching and complaining because I lost, you know, a couple matches, and I'm like, oh well, here's Petey out here, you know. And then you got your Tony Stark leg, and you know, now you got your raw paddles, right? So that's kind of how it
Yeah.
worked for us. I mean, that was a pretty cool thing. And then yeah, so tell us what you like about our paddle and stuff like that, more than like the Selkirk and stuff like that.
Right. Of course.
Which is this guy right here, right? The
Oh yeah.
the white
The,
excluder.
Yeah.
the white one.
Yeah. And
And
we got to get you a new one there, Petey, right? Because you're like
yeah.
out there 24/7.
Yeah, well, so I was out there 24/7. Now, I'm taking it back because, it's funny, and I don't want to come off cocky, but like the better you get, the less you want to play recreational because it's messing up your game. It's messing
Absolutely.
up, and I love playing with whoever, but
Yeah.
now that I'm wanting to do tournaments this year and really try to pick up my level of play to really increase and do a little bit more amateur to amateur to pro, just trying to like see if I can get myself in that sphere. I mean, I definitely want to try that.
So how did that
um
paddle kind of help you? I mean, what's the advantage of that paddle that you have?
so I mean, this paddle, okay, number one, okay, was blessed by God. All right, it's got honey. All right, so it's a sweet touch. and and I was playing with Selkirk at one point, and I just liked it for power. Everyone wants power, right? But if you really have good play, you don't need power. You need precision. And so I started playing with your power when you gave it to me out in Gainesville, um, at the 300 club when we were playing, and I was like, I love this paddle. I love the touch. It's a soft touch, but the way that you can feel the ball basically absorbed into the paddle and you can move the ball around without having to try to torque your body. Because for me, when I swing, my whole body turns. It's not just, you know. So for me, I needed a paddle that can basically replicate the same thing, the same push, the same drive as someone who is really good like a tennis player, and they're just swinging through the ball. And so that's one thing that I really like about the paddle. It's touch. The
Yeah.
other thing is the really long handle. So I obviously wear my paddle up on my bicep. I'm gonna go back to the gym at some point, and the bigger the bicep, the smaller the space I'm gonna be able to have. So I like
Let me
the
tell you
fact
something, brother.
I like the fact that I have
You know
the
this guy?
Yeah.
man.
Look at that.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Brother.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that totally. So I mean, yeah, I mean when you started dinking, you know, I was like, okay, this guy, you know, this was in Gainesville. I was like,
Yeah.
this is going to be weird, but just want to see how he hits it. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? Your dinks were like insane. Like it was pretty wild. And then, you know what I mean? It's just like you're getting everything, even on your backhand. So I
Yeah.
mean, that was really cool. And I think that little bit more of that extension on that paddle and that
Yep.
vibration
Yeah.
roll and that
Yep.
paddle will not hurt your body, which is
No.
a lot of things happening with the Selkirk.
Yeah. In your
Called the
case,
smiley face paddle.
Yeah.
I was just sent a message the other day from a guy in Utah, and they're you know big pickles. They're loving our paddle. He said I've had that Selkirk smiley face and I couldn't even pick up a salt shaker. He said it's
Yeah.
been hurting my arm so much. So I mean, I'm really excited to hear about these different stories and these reviews that the paddle actually kind of just is in tune with your body and the movement is good with the ball. I mean, that's really cool for us, you know.
For sure. So I also like the fact that the handle is long, so that way I can actually put two arms on the paddle itself while I'm holding it with my right. I can place my other arm behind the paddle, and so I've been drilling with a friend, and we've been working on resets and uh two-handed backhand swings or even backhand pushes to create a volley, to create hand-to-hand battles and in the kitchen. And so the fact that there's a length, there's an ability to do that with your paddle, Greg, is like that. I couldn't do that with Selkirk. And if I tried to do two arms, with the Selkirk, it didn't feel right. It felt small, and so the 16 millimeters is where I need it to be. I saw somebody else have a bigger face, and I was like, that's too big, because now it's just disproportionate. And I like the length of the handle, I like the length of the paddle head, and the fact that it balances out. I was actually playing with a player from New York. His name is Velkovic.
Oh yeah, you're
He's
telling me about
yeah, and so he told me a trick about the lead tape. And so I look a little bit late. I like to work out, so I add lead tape to all the corners of the paddle, and then even the handle, and that's created such a balance in the feel of the ball, the touch of the ball. It creates a lot more wider sweet spot. Um, but I couldn't do that with the Selkirk. I couldn't do that with the Eula. There's just
Yeah.
you the capability that you can. I mean, if you know your power, sure. Some people come up to me and they're like, "Oh, powers don't matter." I go, that might be for you. That's your
Yeah.
game, right? But when I started to think about body mechanics, I started to think about how am I going to use a paddle to the way that my body moves and the way that I want hit, the way that I mentally play the game. I can't just have a one-sided paddle. I
So
can't just have that.
So if you're going to have a weakness in any particular part of your game because of your disability,
Right.
uh, what do you think that might be besides the lob, which we just discussed?
Yeah. Well, I mean, with my new leg, the log is actually no longer no longer a weakness. I
Cleaner,
laugh. Yeah,
cleaner.
I just smash it right over the net.
Come on,
People
Petey,
hate
it's a
it.
drop shot. You got to
Yeah,
drop it in there so you can get up there. Come on.
I drop and drive. What are you gonna do? So uh I would say obviously my backhand, but it's not backhand as an up here. It's backhand when they hit to the left
Low.
side of my foot.
Yeah.
Because I can't, my left foot doesn't have an ankle, so I can't roll to my left that well. But I've been drilling, I've been really working on body mechanics so that now that's going to be a no winner for anybody anymore because it's just more of like, I let you have that shot to see if you can make that shot. Oh, you can make that shot, time to
Yeah,
switch it up. And
that's what they do
so
to Kevin all the time.
oh man.
Hey man, so like when you get a
Yeah.
no, I mean, I don't know. Fine. Anyway, listen, when they go to your lower left leg like that, no,
Yeah.
a person, a person, a person normally would be able to, like you say, pivot down and bend
Right.
and have not only a flexion in the ankle, but also in the knee and in
Yeah.
probably in the glute to make kind of like a, um,
Right.
like an L or kind of a, Louis Vuitton sort of L sort of shape. In your case, do you approach it like the way people do like cross steps with backhands? Do you take your right leg and come across to go after the ball so that you're on your strong side and you can lift your arm
Right.
to attack it that way, or how do you go about doing it when it's attacked
Yeah.
at that side?
So there's two things that happen to my backhand whenever they hit the line shot or they hit the drop shot in the corner, is they'll either drive it, which my reaction time pretty fast. That's why I love this shirt. Kung Fu, baby. Hooah! But
Number one super guy.
the fact that I can react really fast to seeing that, because I can see you do it. I'm anticipating you driving that ball, especially if you're all the way back at the baseline. But if I see the ball kind of just lobbed over, I don't cross my right foot anymore. Only reason why is because if I do that and get it over, I can't reset well. Because now I
Yeah.
have to bring it all the way back. And so what I do is I shuffle
Shuffle,
backwards.
crab over, and then
Yep,
hit it with the strong side of your
exactly.
right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep,
He
and
crab walks.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's super effective. Look at Kohler or some of those other pros that, that's all they do
Right.
is just
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
kitchen line.
of
So do you
course.
Now
think?
that,
So do you think that so you played one of my tournaments and you had fun and enjoyed
Yeah.
that a little bit, right? But do you think they attacked you a lot more than your partner, or do you think that just to win the game, or what do you think?
No, I think
I
so surprisingly at the tournament they actually attacked my partner more than they attacked me, and I think they're trying to stay away from that. I guess you could say easy shot, right? But I had my second match with these two kids, two college kids, and they started driving the ball. Well, I love to reset the ball, so I kept resetting their drives, and they couldn't get the right shot off on me. So when they drove at my partner doesn't reset well, and they exposed him. And so for me, I felt like there was a moment where they would try to come at me, but once I figured out certain placements and where I needed to be on the court and how to move, according to their shots and anticipating, I was actually watching my teammate, you know, basically get attacked, and I was like, I can't really help you because you know you're getting all the balls, but at the same time you're also getting whacked, and you're not resetting it to a place where I could get the dink and help you set up for the next shot. And
Happens to the
so
best of us. I think that
yeah,
happened to
and
me in Hawaii a little bit.
it happened to you
yeah,
all the time, apparently. Just
oh
kidding.
man,
Oh, it goes both ways.
But
Anyways.
that's why we
dude,
make the excluder, Kevin,
Funny man, funny man.
and the excluder pro.
That's
oh
right.
man. So I
So
would,
that actually was going to be my next question to you, which is, what do you feel like the vibe is? Obviously the community
yeah,
is generally a really fun community, good people and all that. But you get the really hardcore people who are like,
yep,
I don't want to play with that person or
yeah,
whatever. I mean, do you ever feel like you get that vibe, and then they see you play and they're like, holy shit, this guy's good. Like
yeah,
I can hang with him, or
yeah,
or like you said, it's let's target him. And then when you
right,
start, resetting or dropping back in and stuff, they're like, oh, there goes our strategy. It just
yeah.
went out the window because we made these dumb assumptions. What is your kind of experience or has been, and then maybe what is it like now?
So in the beginning, I mean, I like sharing this story. I'm not gonna drop names, but this guy, I remember one day we were playing, and he shows up, and I'm in a rack, and there's one spot open, and this guy shows up, and somebody goes, "Hey, just put your paddle in there," and the guy knew it was my paddle, and he saw me, and I was walking away, and all I heard from somebody else goes, "Hey man, don't say that. That's so rude." But I turned around and he wasn't looking at me, but I could see that he was saying, "I don't want to play with this guy. It's not going to be fun or whatever." And so I went, "Okay, whatever, fine. You want? Okay, cool." And so fast forward, a month or two later, I've gotten better, figured out my game. Um, we played together. I'm like, hey, let's just play one match. Let's just see how it goes. And he, tells me his name. We start playing, and I start making all my shots, drops, drives, serves. I mean, everything's just going great. And he can't make a shot. And I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, great, you've got great power, no precision. You're overdoing every shot. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, when I first saw you, dude, you were really good. Now you're playing with me and you're just gonna, be
You
crappy.
suck. It's
Yeah,
like
very much.
it's like tennis
I love
sucks.
that. I love
And
that story, man. I go ahead, continue.
and so, ever since that day that we played once, we don't really play a lot together. But I played against him. And I'm getting shots and getting serves, and we're attacking at the kitchen. And so he now, we've played a couple of times since then, and we won a couple of matches together and stuff. But like, it was more of like, okay, so you see what you didn't see in me, but I knew what I had the capability of. And yeah, and I've had plenty of other people give me that look. I was actually out, in another town, and I was playing with a group of people, and this guy's wife who was playing against me was like, looking at my friend and was like, "Hey, I don't want to hit it too hard at him. I don't." And my friend just laughs and goes, "No, he needs it. He's got a tournament coming up. He needs to get hit at. So hit at him." And she started to hit at me, and she couldn't get anything by me. So it was just like, a part of me was like, okay, I understand. Like, because I played with people who either had autism or have some kind of disability that, maybe not be too pronounced like mine is, but like you could tell they've got like maybe cerebral palsy in their arm or whatever. And
So you've been playing how long now?
uh this month will make a year.
So a year in, right? That's awesome,
Yeah,
right? Long
yeah,
way to go, long way to
yep,
come, long way to go, maybe still, right? So
of
what do you
course.
think are your future goals with the sport and what, you know what I mean, that kind of go that route? Where would you be on that kind of a year? My gosh, I've been playing 11. Kevin, how long you been playing?
I was just thinking about this. It'll be 3 years in August this year.
3 years. So Petey's totally 1 year in. He's a little baby, right? So you got a lot of
Wow.
work on. But you know what? You just played a 4-0 tournament in my event. So I mean, that's pretty awesome. So what do you think the future goal would be for you with the sport?
I think the future goal is to not just do doubles, but also do singles.
Nice.
Um, I'm working my way around to figuring out how to slide on the court instead of lunging, and that way, because I can always get a more high tech leg if I need to, especially if it's meant for, if that's what it's needed. And so for me, the leg part was one of the like biggest setbacks when I first started playing, because it didn't have the soft touch, it didn't have the flexibility. It was very heavy because all the weight was actually at the bottom. This one's right behind the knee, so it's actually very light because all the weight is right up at my quads, my hamstrings. And so, I want to do singles. I would love to do the open. I also am actually trying to I mean, it's gonna take a little bit because I've got work and stuff, but I'm gonna try to see if I can get tournaments where um you have one able-bodied player who, no disability, and then one person with a physical disability. And I want to clarify what I mean by that. So I'm talking about Paralympic style. I'm not talking about Special Olympics. The
Right.
Special Olympics is a lot of cognitive, disability,
Right.
and that's not what I am. And so therefore, I don't want that to be misconstrued. And I'm not trying to be discriminative or whatever about that. I just know that, I have friends who are playing with me, and they're like, I would love to see across the court another guy with a prosthetic arm or a prosthetic leg, try to play at the same level you're playing, and we all four of us just go as hard as we can.
Yeah, and
And
we talked about that because when I met you, I said, "Hey, let's play the U.S. Open together." But how can we make that work? Because now you've got the wheelchair guys, right, going
right,
against somebody that's able body, non-able body, non-able body, right? So,
yep,
but how would you come into that? And they're like, "Well, you would have to go in a wheelchair." Well, now you're like double
yeah,
Olympic, right? So I
yeah,
mean, it's like how do you do that? Because I mean, and the wheelchair guys get two bounces because I used to coach wheelchair and I still coach wheelchair pickleball when I can. You know what I mean? I really
yeah,
enjoy doing that. So yeah, the thought is that how do you kind of get that involved in some sort of tournament or it'd have to be some sort of you said like cognitive, right? So I mean that's definitely special Olympics, right?
yeah,
I mean that's out. US Open, those ladies are just doing wheelchair uh,
right,
Olympics Olympics wheelchair pickleball.
Event. Yeah.
yep,
So how do
yep,
you get in? Yeah, I mean that would be a great thing to. I mean that would be so cool to figure out how to do something like that and meet
right,
other pickleball players that are maybe not wheelchair but they have prosthetics, right? And they can
yeah,
play.
right,
Could be one arm, like you said. And I do know a couple people that just have one arm and
yep,
they're pretty damn good, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
There's I don't know if you saw a video that was making its rounds on Instagram, and it was a guy who had prosthetic arms, and he had one arm for a claw, and then the other arm was holding the paddle, and so he would drop with the claw, and then he would serve with the prosthetic arm, and so he didn't have he doesn't have the elbow. So he has to wear that arm. But I was approached actually at your tournament by an older gentleman who his sister has a disability, and unfortunately right when I met him it started raining, and
yeah.
so I thought he would come back, but I think he left, and I just never got a chance to give him my number. But working with people to figure out a way to adapt, you know so like I love this band, but this band's gonna get worn down real fast. And I would love to if anybody out there is watching this, if they want to help me create a my own brand, my own brand of band, so that way, I
That'd be
can give it
dope.
out to people who have arms like me and less, because it's like I said in the beginning of our discussion is that I think from elbow to shoulder, everything is most of my power, most of my shots is from my shoulder. It's not from a wrist, and even my elbow. Because because that's the thing. The other thing I love about your tile is the tighter I grip, the harder I hit, but the lack of control. So I'm really working on flexing my arm, allowing the lesser grip, creating it. You know, the way that I think about it is like I have to see a hand on my arm holding on to something and then releasing and holding and releasing. Do you
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
And so it, I had a doctor when I was younger, did a test of my arms to see like what my mind could do when it came to like wearing electronic robotic arms. And so we did a program, and they play at the highest frequency. I broke their program, and so then they play at the lowest frequency. I still
Wow.
broke the program because the sensation, the electrodes in my arms are so much that they weren't anticipating that. And these guys actually work for NASA. So it was like I was blown away by these engineers who are like, we work for NASA and we just did a simple program, nothing too crazy. It was just the beginning of robotic arms for this company.
Did you
And
have your dreadlocks then when you went in there?
I know, no, I was like, oh
You
man,
didn't wave your dreadlocks in front of them?
no, definitely not at that
Oh
time.
Yeah,
man,
man.
Petey had cool dreadlocks. It's on his
Oh my gosh, dude, I
Instagram.
wish
Stalk his Instagram.
Oh man, I wonder if I still have the video of me shooting guns with my dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Because I went to Thanksgiving shooting a couple of rounds with my friends. That was very funny.
NRA, baby, NRA.
Yeah,
Hey,
man, let's play some pickleball. Ah, okay, let's go.
oh man, I mean
Rah.
that. Yeah, so that's. I mean, so there's so much. What that pickleball has done, like for me, just internally, spiritually, mentally.
Yeah, did
Um,
you ever get like super depressed or anything like that, just in life, and then you think
yeah.
pickleball might have helped out with that or
Oh, for sure. One of the things was so, um, I moved down here about a year and a half
Wait,
ago.
wait, where's here? Tell everybody where here is.
So I'm from Massachusetts. Um,
boo,
oh, get out of here! I love Mass. I'm a masshole.
Fall River,
Maxwell. Tom Brady over
Uh,
there. Anyway,
Fall River,
exactly.
duck pin bowling, baby, duck pin bowling.
There you
so where
go.
where where are you now? You're in
So I'm li
Crescent
I'm living.
or St. Pete?
He's in the
Yep. So
Orlando area.
Oh,
Good to go.
Orlando. Yeah, I live in Orlando. I actually live in Maitland, and there's a few places that I play around the area.
Katie Way still? Katie Way?
Yep, KDWay. I'm also playing out in Oviedo, which is about, excuse me, 30 minutes from my house, so that's not too far. Couple of indoor places. And so when I moved down here, I was going to school. I had a couple of roommates, but it's not all year round kind of deal. So once semester is over, you know, you either stay in Florida or you just go back home and wait until the next year starts. And at that time, I didn't have a job. I only knew the kids from school, but like we all didn't really. Some of us had jobs, but a lot of us were thinking about going back home. And you know, uh, I made the move. I wasn't anticipating on going to school at first. I was honestly, I I I have a very raw relationship with the Lord, where
Yeah,
you know
baby.
everything's real with me and God. And I just said, God, you've been telling me to come to Florida. So I don't know why. And so, I moved here, and I just said, you know what, God, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow what you're telling me to do. And so I was like, if I need places to stay, I need to know where I'm gonna belong to, who I'm gonna belong to, like where am I gonna go from here? And he showed me the school. I stayed at the school for a little bit. Stayed with friends in Winter Park, Orlando, and so I was there for about 9 months, and then school was over, and um, and I was like, great. Well, I don't have a job, and I'm so thankful for the people who sewed into my journey while I was at school. They helped me pay for tuition and housing, and I was able to get food. I got food stamps down here when I could, and so it was really an awesome thing to receive that.
And now
But
you're
then,
one of the top employees at Publix now, right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
oh,
so
that's
in
so cool.
July, I got a job at Publix. Um, I
Just a
got
real quick commentary on the community thing.
yeah,
So, I think the community sort of selfishly wants to make sure that enough people stay in the loop so that they have partners to play with. But I'm just kidding. Most everybody that I've experienced, I had a knee surgery. It'll be 2 months on Tuesday,
yeah,
and the amount of people that reached out and were like, "Hey, how are you doing? Do you need anything?" Like a week later, checking in on you. Like
yeah,
I was stunned. Like
yeah,
I should be stunned because
yeah,
it's exactly what you're talking about. People are just like so genuinely cool. Like I've
right,
not experienced that in pretty much any other sport. I mean, it's not to say it doesn't exist, but this is like,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
once you're in the sort of community, it's like you're in,
of
And
course,
I feel like I feel like you probably experienced that, right? Where people just
Yeah.
like, come on, PD,
Yeah.
we got you, and like helped you
So
out in jobs and pickleball or housing or whatever it is,
right.
moving from Massachusetts. Is that pretty
Of
much
course.
how you felt?
Yeah, so basically, once school was over and I just, I didn't even actually couldn't even finish the second half of this semester because I just didn't have the job. I couldn't keep up with the payments. I mean, like I said, there's only so much that people can do. And, I also, I'm the kind of guy I grew up with parents that told me, if you ever tell me you can't, you gotta prove it. And so my parents were always like just nonstop. Don't ever limit yourself unless you are limited. But you can do everything. So don't do that to yourself. And so when I came down here, I was like, I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna find places to live. Whatever. And once school was over, like I said, these are kids. I couldn't really rely on, oh, I'm gonna have a permanent place to stay because they were all leaving. They were all going back home, and then I started playing pickleball in March, and all right, and then boom, I have people who literally just took me under their wing. They saw me playing. Um, how I got associated with American Blade Runners Association was through a friend who his name is Mark, and he is I call him my hero. I actually um I had him go through Splish and represent him as a hero because um he he helped me not only find places to stay. He helped provide some funds to do that. Created a GoFundMe, um, and which I'll share all those details later. But
That's cool.
create the GoFundMe, and then the community itself, the public that I work at, everyone that almost everyone that I play with, they all shop there. So what did they do? They heard that I needed a job. They went straight to Publix, went to the store owner, and started saying, "Hey, you gotta hire Petey. You gotta hire this kid. This kid is he's gonna blow
Nice.
you away. He's gonna show you what he can do. You're gonna love this guy." Sure enough,
Now,
I
you're,
go
now you're
in.
the now you're the top meat manager, right?
No, dang, I don't want definitely
That's
not
where you make the most money in Publix,
that.
by the way, PD. If you're the meat manager, you make
Yeah,
money.
you do for sure. I don't. I mean, I told him I can wear. I can strap a knife with this wrap and just
Yeah.
chopping it. Yeah,
Karate
but
chop.
but
Oh my gosh. Well, they don't even use knives. They use that like slicer deal, right?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
why not just anyway?
That's the deli. That's the deli. We don't
that's
want
a
to be the
deli
deli.
area.
Oh,
No,
right.
yeah,
You're right. You're right.
cause
You're right.
yeah, and so So, I got the job. I became employed a month, 2 months in, just because like I you know, I can go a day without people, but I really can't. I've got to see somebody. And so, to be able to work at a place where I see the people I play with and I see the people I don't play with, but they've heard of me. Um, I got interviewed by several news outlets because they heard about the story about pickleball, about me, about Florida. And people, still come up to me to this day. And I actually had this kid who was looking at me and he goes, "Mom, he doesn't have any hands." And she goes, "Can I tell you a secret? That guy's a pro pickleball player. Do you want to know how?" Because he was on television. He was playing pickleball. And I was like, I just looked at it, I was like, I'm not a pro, but I appreciate
Going
you
pro.
saying, and I
But PD,
you
man, I gotta say, like, you're so cool, dude. You're like so willing to talk about it, and you're
of
super
course.
nice to people who like are genuinely curious or fascinated.
Yeah,
I feel like tell us a little bit about kind of your faith journey too. I mean, it seems like
yeah.
that's a cornerstone for you. Maybe you can
Oh,
just tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll kind of wrap things up.
of course. So um I wasn't always a believer in God and Jesus. I actually hated him for a long time when I was younger because all the religious leaders just could not tell me why I was born this way, right? But, you know, there's a difference between having a relationship with God and having a religion with God. Religion, you just tell people what to do and you just believe it on faith. But relationship is you want to find out who God is, you want to know who He is. And so when I got saved and closed, I was actually my best friend now. I met him at a gas station. We went to school together. He was a wild child. Like, just he did drugs when he was younger. He started drinking when he was young. Just doing everything right. We see each other maybe 5 years after high school, and he goes, "Hey Pete." I turn around, it's my friend Tyler, and he goes, "Hey man, I just want you to know Jesus loves you." Now, when I heard him tell me that, I was like, everyone's always telling me, "God bless you, God loves you," blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever. But when someone told me Jesus loves me, and I knew that was the name of God, I was like, okay, hold on. So I turned around and I was like, thanks. And when he said that, I was contemplating suicide 2 days after that. Like, not 2 days, but like
Wow.
I was thinking I was going to kill myself in 2 days. If I don't, I'm going to take these 3 days to just fully gas my car up, eat my favorite foods, and then go on the straightest highway and boom. And I was driving a Pontiac G5 coupe, top speed 120, and I could just absolutely zip it on the highway. And so, and at the time, they shut off the airbags because I sit so close, and I don't have I don't have adaptives for my arms because
Mm.
yeah, I don't roll that way. I it's all normal. And so and yeah, and I actually do drive one arm, which is
Love it.
hilarious.
Yeah, let's
And
go.
Remember
and
those little things
so
you put on your wheel?
yeah, don't have those, man. And so, I was driving and I got home. My friend Tyler gave him my number. We ended up going bowling. Speaking of bowling, and we started bowling. I love bowling, and so we were talking. He was just telling me about how much God loved me and how much Jesus just died for my sins and stuff. And I was just like, I'm gonna go to church, but you gotta go work out with me. And he worked out with me for one day, and this kid picks up rocks, works on the farm, whatever. And he was like, I've never been more sore. But he went with me, so I went with him to church, and I sat there and I was reading in the Bible in Psalm 139. It just says that we are beautifully, wonderfully made by God. And what really hit me was when David, the psalmist, says, he knows you even before you were created in your mother's
Before you're
womb.
born. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that is what made me realize, wait a minute, so this isn't a mistake. And so whoever is watching this and you're born with a disability and you're thinking, oh well, my mom took drugs or drank alcohol or there was a birth defect. Yeah, certain things do happen. But am I gonna tell you that that was a mistake? No, because you know what? Not only are you alive, hello, but you're also proving to other people that you can do great things even with the limitations that you have. And
And you're
here I am
perfect.
today.
This could
Amen,
be it
man.
right here. This could be it
You
right here
know,
Amen.
for
and
other
so
people that are
that's
not for other people that are not believers. This is a perfect thing to hear at the end of this story, right? Because
of course.
maybe people are, contemplating, suicide and things like that. And as you know, I give back to NAMI, which is suicide prevention and
Hmm.
things like that for all the tournaments that I run. So, I mean, for me, it hits home pretty hard because I've lost a lot of people from suicide,
Yeah,
including a friend as well, so it's crazy. So that really touches me towards the end here for
yeah,
doubt, so yeah, I mean, Psalms 139 is perfect, right? So I
yeah,
mean, and then we have to put on our spiritual armor in Ephesians, right? So I mean,
yep,
that's my favorite one as far as
yeah.
Ephesians goes. We've got to have the sword of the spirit and the
Hmm.
Bible and all our armor, right? So, I mean, thanks for sharing that because that is huge for us. And I know that we're going to probably talk to the owner of Triple J Paddles, which is
Right.
their big Christian
Yeah.
paddle brand as well, you know? So, I mean, yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
welcome, man.
PD, that's awesome. Yeah, I converted to the faith about 2007 myself, so
Yeah.
this is really important for me too. So I'm really glad to hear that it's helping drive, you know, with the direction you've been going, especially in pickleball. Hey man, you were super inspiring. Obviously, you've got so much to offer. I can't wait to see more things happen and to follow your pending, you know, career even, you know, into the potentially high level pro pickleball. It's just insane to see this happen and to, you know, let us be a part of your journey as well. Um, let other people know how they can start following you, because I think you have a lot to offer for motivation, inspiration, potential collaborations and partnerships. What are some of the ways that people can get in touch with you?
So one is Instagram. It's Petey Bruce. It's a picture of me at the drum set with blonde hair. It's I, I love that picture. It just shows that, you know, I'm a guy who loves to just have fun. That's one way. Um, I I guess we could do a collaboration with TikTok. I have to pull up the information for that, but I believe it's Peter dot Bruce, and there's a couple of numbers, but I haven't posted anything. I just restarted it because sometimes TikTok, man, just gets a little too wild, and yeah, it's just not, it wasn't at the time. I just needed to restart and just redo things. And so there's nothing there yet. But you can also reach me on Facebook, PDJ Bruce. That's my handle. You'll see me with me in a red shirt, baseball cap, swinging a paddle, swinging a raw paddle. And if you want to email me at all, you can email me at pdbruce@gmail.com. That's PETEYBRUCE. And you know, if you need to reach out or you want to reach out and you're going through something or you want to collab, just let me know. I mean, I'd rather be busy than bored, but you know, I'd rather be busy with the things that I know God's called me to do. And you know, every day I get comments from people who are like, "Man, watching you change my $100 bill to 79.83 for change, and you know, you don't even struggle, you don't skip a beat." And it's like, no, I hear that a lot, and some people are like, "Man, that must get tiring." I go, there are times, you know, there are times when you're not expecting to hear that, so you just hear it and you kind of go, "Oh, thanks." But you know, the reason why I guess I react to that is because it's not me, it's all for God, and I want Him to get the glory, not me. And you know, whether I become a pro pickleball player or I become, you know, the next store manager for Publix, whatever, you know, I want everyone to know that it was God who called me, even to play pickleball. You know, and I everything is a divine, you know, intervention. And so, you know, that's why I have my faith, and that's why I get to meet people like Kevin and Gregory, and you know, and just absolutely just talk about the love of the sport, the love of the community, and honestly the love of ourselves in a way that we can shine the light that we're not perfect and we never want to be perfect. And so we're just here to put a smile on your face and let you know, go out and play. Don't be intimidated.
Love it.
Yes,
Fantastic.
sir.
Amen. Dang, man. Right? That's so good. Well, PD, bro, thank you so much for coming on the Top Spin podcast today. Gregory, is there anything else you want to add real quick before we head out?
I mean, that was pretty solid right there, man. I think we just killed some other reviewers there, no doubt. I mean, that was perfect, Petey. Definitely very informative. And then, you know, I think that's definitely, I love talking about the faith at the end there. Keep enjoying our
Yeah.
paddles. I'll send a couple more to you. And then we'll play
Yeah.
again soon.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll send you some balls, Petey. I got you, bro.
Oh yeah, dude, I love your crown pickleballs. I was showing that to so many people, and they're like, "What is this ball? This isn't like a Dura." I was like, "No, this is better than Dura."
And we're all
Uh,
affiliated with Splish too right now,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
I know that's the full circle. Yeah, right
Yeah,
on.
seriously.
All right, cool guys. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.
Woo.